tonight. So let's begin with the financial bill 2023. The proposed budget is actually 3.6 trillion, not billion, 3.6 trillion for the 2023-2024 financial year. The proposals include the following: a deposit of 20% of dispute. So if you have a dispute between you and KRA, you'll have to deposit 20% of that dispute amount with KRA before the settlement, before it goes before the dispute resolution tribunal of the Kenya Revenue Authority. Apart from that, they are proposing 35% tax rate for income above 500,000 shillings per month and 30% tax on your per diems if you work for the government. Apart from that, there's a 3% contribution to finance affordable housing scheme as proposed by President William Ruto. But that's not all, because they have an increase of turnover tax from 1% to 3% by 2%. Basically, it's more than double of the turnover tax. Apart from that, there's 15% withholding tax on digital content creators. Now, this is big, because everyone is online nowadays, so they'll be asking you for 15% of what you're getting out of that. 15% duty on betting and alcoholic product advertisements that go on television, go on radio, and all those. They are asking you for an additional 15%. Apart from that, they're saying 5% duty on wigs if you are a lady, and other beauty products like makeup and all that. They'll be asking you for 5%. Now, that's not all, because VAT increase on petroleum products, a contentious issue. There's a whole video of this when the president attended the presidential debate, and I was part of it, where he said it's 8%, likely reduced. Now it's been doubled to 16%. Is right there as a proposal. Import declaration fee is now down 2.5%. You'd say a silver lining in all this, but with the amount of money they're asking, it's not a silver lining. An exemption of export services from VAT. Now, if you export your services, I say you are exempted from VAT. Finally, VAT exemption on flour for cooking, for chapati and the rest, and sugarcane transportation from the sugar belt, Sony, Muhoroni, Mumias and all that. Transportation is exempted from VAT. And now let's talk about the voices that have spoken about the finance bill. I'll begin with Azimio, because Azimio says no to this, and Raila Odinga has directed his troops that when you go to that floor, make sure you post. So they say it's even more shocking that a regime that promised to lessen the burden of the so-called hustlers, Mama Mboga, Watu wa Mjengo, can turn its back so soon on the same people. Now, the tsunami of taxes in that bill 2023 will bury everyone, especially the jobless youth and the poor, struggling down to the bottom. The bill is a promissory note to strangle and suffocate the hustlers from whose necks Ruto promised to remove the rope. That's from Azimio. Let's look further. These are the things they're saying about the bill, that we wish to make it clear from the outset that as party, we will try our best to ensure that this anti-people budget is not passed by the National Assembly. In the event that Kenya Kwanza uses its hired majority and passes the bill. Remember, Kenya Kwanza has basically gotten everyone to their side. So that's what they're referring to as hired majority. We want the people of Kenya to understand that it is Kenya Kwanza's bill. It is Kenya Kwanza's budget. It will be Kenya Kwanza's struggling Kenyans. We will instruct our members of parliament to have nothing to do with it. That's Azimio's statement. However, they're not the only ones speaking about this, because Samson Cherargei is also speaking about this. The senator on the Finance Bill 2023, he says the decision to pass by parliament is not optional, where even a comma shall not be amended, because we either borrow more or raise our own revenue through taxation. The serious public debt of 10 trillion was put by the handshake government of Uhuru Kenyatta and Tinga, referring to Raila, that the Kenyans are paying heavily now. That's the conversation we are having tonight with these four gentlemen. Seth Panyako, who is represents the workers tonight. Stephen Obiro represents the employers tonight. Kimani Kuria represents Parliament tonight. And of course, Bill Okero will be reading through that whole budget and giving us details.